The diamond market was sluggish in January as the latest trade data from India and Belgium revealed. India being the premier diamond manufacturing centre and Belgium a major diamond trading hub. India's polished exports, indicating a level of global demand, fell 12% year-on-year to $1.02 billion in January, according to data published by the Gem and Jewellery Export Promotion Council. Rough imports to India, indicating its level of manufacturing, dropped 37% to $735 million. So demand was down 12% after a similar decline in the fourth quarter. And manufacturers responded by reducing their intake of rough and consequently reducing their manufacturing levels. That indicates that they're holding high polished inventory, or at least sufficient inventory that will satisfy prevailing lower levels of polished demand. From Belgium's trading point of view, the numbers published by the Antwerp World Diamond Centre were even more dramatic. Belgium's polished imports were down 31%, its polished exports down 36% in January, while rough imports slumped 46% and rough exports declined by 59%. So what does this all tell us besides the obvious? Well, the first quarter is traditionally a stronger period for the diamond trade, so it didn't start off very well. And that tells us something about retail jewelers. They should be buying polished now after they sold jewelry during the holiday season. For some reason, they're being very cautious in their inventory management. Maybe that's because they didn't sell as much as we thought. Maybe they're diversifying their inventory, shifting away from natural diamonds. By the way, India's exports of lab-grown diamonds fell 25% year-on-year in January and by 15% in the second half of 2025. The lab-grown market is also seeking that supply-demand equilibrium. Another reason may be that jewelers are not as seasonal as they used to be, and they're delaying their purchases beyond the first quarter. Or they're not buying at the moment because they're being more efficient in their approach to inventory management, holding fewer goods in store in general. But we are hearing positive reports about retail jewelry sales and retail diamond jewelry sales extending into January, at least among independents. That being the case, our eyes turn again to the rough market ahead of next week's De Beers site beginning on February 24th. Will manufacturers up their rough buying, signaling some expectation that jewelers are going to raise their polished buying? There is still that cautious sentiment around the rough market, but the economics suggest that retail jewelers will at some point return to the polished market, and manufacturers will need to have the goods to fill those orders when they do. Who knows when that'll happen? The diamond industry has begun 2025 in a very sensitive and somewhat precarious position, as we see from the January trade data.